we're live. Okay, cool. And I don't even need to. Awesome. All right. I'm not gonna try. I'm not gonna do a microphone this time. Hopefully, it's loud enough. Hopefully, we'll get some people in live this time to where they can tell me if it's loud enough, and then we'll go from there. Because I'm not entirely sure how to fix that. Okay. Oh no. Is that gonna mess it up? Shouldn't, right? Let me get off the Wi-Fi on there. Cool. Okay, so what we're gonna do, or what I'm gonna do, is I'll show you what I have started with and where my mind was, and we'll go from there, because it seems like the best place to start. So I'm going to open all of these. Wait a minute, I can't open these. Sorry, you can't even see what I'm doing here. Yeah, I'll go ahead and just show you all this stuff. So this is my desktop. These are the images I'm not going to use. This is old stuff. This is, I don't usually have anything on my desktop, so this is kind of weird for me. And these two things are always there, actually. But that's it. That's all I keep on my desktop, because this is like an ongoing project I have. Everything else, the rest of these, shoot, come on, don't usually stay, but I took some screenshots of just different things. I'll show you. So I found this image. So what I'm going to do, here, let me back up. What I'm going to do is grab my microphone. Maybe. Sorry about that. So, it was actually already plugged in, and that's something I did not realize, so my bad if that's weird. But, alright, so what I did, I found these images on the internet, and I decided to take them. The problem with this one is this is the first book, obviously. If you guys know Harry Potter at all, Harry Potter is a baby in the first book. So this image here, sorta, let's move this. Can I do this? Sorta doesn't really make sense because he's obviously not a baby. But I'm going to take the bike, because the bike is in one of the first scenes of the movie, and in the book. So that's the point of this. And this is actually like a Google Earth image or a Google Maps image of the actual house that they used in the film. And so my thought process behind this was to just kind of take this half over here, which I believe it's this house is the one in the movies. But this street is nothing like the street in the book and the movie, whatever. So we're just gonna make some stuff up, really. Going back to that, I took some the title in the book is Privet Drive, so I've got that. And then there is a blank. It's a different perspective, but it doesn't have, and it's baby blue instead of white, but it didn't have Harry in it. So this is going to be what I'm going to use. Hopefully, whoops. And, well, it does look baby blue there. So that might work out great. We'll see. So that was my idea. I'm going to figure out how to put these things together. So that's the goal. Let's just kind of do one of these. Actually, I know that there is a way, which I never use it. Let's see if I can remember. Import, automate, batch. Maybe? This doesn't seem right. I don't remember how to do it. Doesn't seem like a good time to try to remember, but, you know, whatever. We got 0 viewers. We're making it happen. Import from iPhone. Oh, neat. Cool. Has anybody ever checked these out? I'm such a creature of habit, too, and I kind of taught myself how to do all this stuff, basically. So I miss out on a lot of the little things like this, like batch import and such. Maybe it's under import images. No. Anyway, I know there's a way to import a ton of images at once, but I can't seem to figure it out. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna highlight open with Photoshop. And then it's gonna open up way too many images at once. And I'm gonna spend some time and kind of drag them over as needed. The problem with doing all this is that they end up like this, but that's okay. So let's see what we're gonna do, and I never really sketch anything out either, but the image that I found, or the one I had in my head here, I'm gonna make this really terrible here. The image, let me get back to like a solid brush, that I had in my head was that we were kind of looking down Privet Drive, and then the houses on each side. Wow, those are houses apparently. On each side, and then Hagrid with the motorbike is here, up in the sky, and then the sign of Privet Drive kind of hanging out right here. That was initially, you know, and have the buildings and stuff kind of go off into the perspective. That was initially what I had kind of thought of. I didn't really find any images, and this one, admittedly, I didn't really do a great job of spending time and researching images and trying to find any. I didn't have any from the parks, I don't believe. And now that I'm thinking about it, I didn't really take any too many images or pictures of that bike. And that was the one thing I think in that park I didn't really take a picture of, was the bike. Huh. Bummer, right? Okay. Well, anyway, so what we're going to we're going to paint all this black. And I made the palette, I guess, whatever you call it, the size, canvas size, pretty big, 6,000 by 6,000 with 300 pixels per inch. And so that means it can be 20 inches without losing resolution, and I don't anticipate that, like making anything that big, like printing it out. But if I want to, it's there. And I'm doing everything square. I know that's not a very popular size, or shape, I mean, but I'm doing everything square. And the reason behind that I can't show you at the moment because I don't have them, but I'm printing out everything as a instant print, like a little Instax, like a Polaroid looking thing. And so in order to do that, everything has to be square. So that's why I'm doing squares. So here we go. All right, 10 minutes and 10 and a half minutes in, and I'm just getting started. All right, so it looks like Hagrid's going to be going pretty darn fast. So we got that. Let me go ahead and close out of that. And then let's do this one. I didn't get any other kind of cars. So I might need to go find another car. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to use this perspective after all. I'm going to go ahead and close out on that one. So what was this one? Yeah, okay, got that. What was that one? Let's go ahead and go back to there. And then drag that over to here. That way it's got... We're just going to kind of make this a little rough at the beginning just to kind of get an idea. Kind of like we did that sketch a minute ago. So, yeah. Alright, like I said, I don't really think I'm going to use this perspective, but I'll leave it on here. And I usually put things that I want to keep, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything with it under the, well, let's be honest, I usually just put BG for background. But I'll put anything that, like any asset or anything that I want to keep, I'll put it under the background layer and I'll turn it off. I don't really have a reason to, other than like it just kind of helps me keep anything under the background. I know that I'm not going to use it, or that at least I have it on hand. And I may even do a group of them depending on how many I have. And I should title it as something else. Which, I don't know. I don't know if that'll help me in the long run, but I'm going to go ahead and group these. Title it bike. That should be in there too. And which one is it? This one? That one's not in there. There we go. All right. And it doesn't matter what you title them, but I do recommend titling layers, otherwise it gets messy real quick. Let's go ahead and exit out of that one. We definitely need this one. I'm going to drag this up and over into the bike group. And then the privet drive, I'm going to put that here. I'm going to name sign. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to figure out this perspective here. So let's actually make this white. It's going to be all covered up, but it'll kind of help me. It doesn't have to make sense, so, but the white will help me. So what I'm going to do first and foremost is turn everything into a smart layer before I start resizing and whatever else. And that just is a non-destructive way to edit any layer or any image. So I'm going to make it a smart object, which makes it into a smart layer. And now you can resize it itchy without losing, without it getting too pixelated and crap. So, look, I just resized it like 1,000,000%, and it's great. I have to get this out of my nose. Oh, it itches. All right. So there we go. Boy, and I wanted to finish this in an hour. Man, I was probably ambitious with that goal. Alright, so this is obviously an illustration, so that might be a little weird, but, and the perspective is going to be really awkward. Alright, whatever. So, go ahead and grab the pen. I'm not really doing this to be a tutorial necessarily. So, but assuming that this gets more popular and people are actually on here live, I'll be glad to answer questions and such as I go, or take it, not advice. What am I trying to say? Take requests and such. So make that a selection. So we got the privet drive out of the way. So let's see. So zoom out, make this full. So if I've got that, let's throw the neighborhood back on, and then we're gonna make that a smart layer as well. I'm making this the whole size of the picture. Yeah, let's do something like that. Awesome. And the bike is probably going to be more like this. Let's move that there. Okay. We'll probably duplicate that layer over. Wish I had more here. Now I'm just trying to think. Like if I want, I don't really talk out loud. I think out loud sometimes, I guess, but so I want to duplicate all of these houses to kind of extend farther, but I want to make it seem like it's a little bit higher in the air. We're going to take the sign. So it's going to be more like a collage, because the sign at this point doesn't make any sense, because there's no, the sign wouldn't even be there. That doesn't make any sense. So this is going to be more, so the perspective obviously is way off. This was a Google image and it's a 3D image laid flat, so the perspective is going to be completely terrible. But that's okay, because we can figure that out. And the bike. Alright, so let's go in, since we already duplicated that, so this might have to end up not being a smart layer here. We'll have to do that later. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to go back and rasterize that. I'm going to get rid of this light pole because it's in the way. Probably get rid of this car. Move the sign as well. Yep. Okay. Alright, clone stamp. Oops. My favorite tool, probably. Maybe not my favorite, but the one I use a lot. Now, the best part about these clone stamps, I think I said it in the last video too, is that when you have areas that are kind of fuzzy, like gravel, trees, anything like that, it's the best because it doesn't have to be perfect. Like that, it looks like it's meant to be that way. And if you add more limbs and whatever else, it doesn't matter because it all looks like it's supposed to be that way. And change the hardness. The only problem is that you have to be careful that it doesn't get blurry. It's the only thing you gotta watch out for. That's a little tiny bit off. And a lot of these minute, like little things that you see, like this texture is obviously different in that little area. So oftentimes I'll kind of make it bigger than it needs to be just to make it look like that's how the roof is. But again, be careful that you don't make it blurry. And when you're zoomed out, you're not going to notice. Like, you don't notice because this looks like a different texture. There's some shadow or there's some dirt or something there. So you're never going to notice. Again, the perspective's off, but I'm going to go ahead and see if I can clone this window here, and we'll get it that way. So I'm going to grab this. I'm going to go to that same corner here, and that's where I'm going to paint. I'm just going to do the inside of this one window because, like I said, the perspective's off. So if I tried to do the whole window with the whole frame and everything, it wouldn't look good. See how it's already starting to, and since this is a destructive way to, well, I'm going to have to start all over. So instead of doing that, I'm going to do it a little bit at a time. Just this one window, like I said in the beginning. There it is. And then I'm going to take this corner and make it that corner. Shit. And since this is brick, it should work out the same way, hopefully. And then you won't even notice. What you do have to look out for, which doesn't seem like the case, maybe a little bit, is that the bricks could be a little bit off, or you can tell that this brick is the same as that brick, and this brick is the same as that brick, if you look hard enough. But again, if you zoom out, you're never going to notice. Like, and now you can notice it just because you see it, you know how it was made. But if you were the one looking at this image for the first time, you wouldn't notice it. I've done it way too many times. And I'm not using any fancy tools or anything. I'm using a laptop, keyboard and mouse and whatever, but Right now I'm using the trackpad. I don't know. Sometimes I just use the trackpad. So I'm not using anything fancy here. I don't really have a good reason to take out this pole. I just think it's just too busy. It's too busy of a picture. So, taking it out. Other than that, there's no reason. This is kind of guesswork here as to where this pole should be, but that's where it's at, and that's where it is. And then the bottom, and the bottom, and there it is. Kind of want to do that. Yeah, that's better. But see, this looks exactly the same as that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take that and bring it up and get rid of that one little section. Probably get rid of this one too, just because it doesn't need to be there. Perfect. Alright, and that is a car reflection. Now I'm just getting really picky here because this isn't going to matter. But I just want to show you guys what I'm thinking here. There it is. Alright. Now we're making moves. Alright, should I take the whole car out? Or just like the pole? Just the pole. Probably just the pole, right? The car can probably stay. It's not going to be that big of a deal. It's kind of not lucky necessarily, but it's kind of nice that this isn't like a super freaking noticeably brand new, you know, car. So that's good. This is kind of tough because it's sloped edges, and it's one of those things that can get kind of sloppy pretty quickly, but I think that worked out pretty well. Dang, this is the kind of stuff that, like, if this was just a normal edited video, I would have done like just sped up, because you get the point of like what it's going to end up being. This is going to be super weird. No, that worked out. It's okay. Oh no! Alright, yeah, this is the same. Not doing anything different here. Well, it's because it's the plants. I was like, why is that shadow off? So this is going to be awkward too, because there's no good way to make that, as far as, unless I want to drag out a different, like, figure out whatever car this is, which I have no clue, because I'm not that type of person. No cars. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably just end up leaving it like that, because that's all blurry. This, honestly, this image quality isn't great, so I'm going to move on. And then when I'm all done with this shadow, I'll zoom out and see what it looks like. We're getting pretty lucky with these, like where we're clone stamping. So that's good. Yeah, whatever. Look at that. Looks like it was meant to be that way, huh? Alright. So now that that's stamped, so what I'm going to do is probably going to try to line up this doorway with this doorway, or like this garage here with this garage here, and that way this is going to take over here. So which should it be here? Yeah, because if I try to bend it too much, it's definitely going to be noticeable. So I'm going to only be able to do like a house or two. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. Obviously, because no one else is on. Alright. Actually, I may use this now. I'm going to convert that to a smart object and delete that, but then duplicate this because I just spent all that time. Cool. Okay. A lot of times too, I'll leave, like, since I got a decent amount or like an idea of what I'm doing there, I'll take this sign and I'll go up and you know, kind of change the perspective on it or something. Like, I'll do something like, I mean, that's straight on now, but yeah, I think honestly I just want to do perspective. I'm just going to do that. Yep. And that's it. Yep. All right. Cool. Yeah, there's no way I'm doing the rest of this in a half hour. Let's try though. Let's try. Okay. So I've got that. That. I'll probably end up having to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Let's see. Turn on opacity so I can see behind it. So I can see where it kind of blends in. If I did that, and then did that. So let's see how that looks. Okay. Might have to do each house individually if it's going to be this. The best part about using masks is, again, it's non-destructive. So you can bring it right back. All you're doing is hiding instead of erasing. So that's what I'm doing here, is hiding and bringing it back, and then hiding it again, and then bringing it back. Okay. That's not what I want to do. Alright. Well, let's go ahead. Remove that. Move that. Move that. Here we go. Okay, so now we're starting to get this super rough idea of what we're looking at here. I think in order to do some of this stuff, you gotta have some imagination and just trust in not necessarily your abilities, but just that you're gonna see through or see it through. Now, obviously, I don't want that red car exactly like that in both. So, I think at this point, I'm going to rasterize this. And I'm actually going to clone stamp again to get rid of this car. Out of this driveway. Ooh, look, it says Google. Dang, I didn't realize that. Boy. Alright, let's start from the easier spot. Oh man, this driveway, not a lot to work with here. So I'm gonna try not to make this blurry. Now this, the way I do it at least, always looks pretty sloppy. It's probably just because the way I do it. Doesn't have to be sloppy. But I like to just get it up there and then work with it, if that makes sense. See, and then we can kind of go straight here. It's not going to work way down there. Yep. And then we have this to go over here. We can move that into here. And the only thing we're going to have an issue with is the bottom. But that's okay. Nope. I'm going to grab this corner. I'm going to grab this corner. Move it to there. And there's that. And there's that. And actually that shadow's not even going to be there, so don't have to worry about making that look good. And again, just do as much as possible to minimize any sort of blurring potential. Get that bigger. Oh, I think so. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I didn't think anybody was on. Yeah, I got Streamlabs, OBS, and then, well, what I did, I, what am I even? Oh, I changed YouTube channels, so that's why and then YouTube wouldn't let me do a live video until I waited 24 hours or whatever. So I had to wait 24 hours because, of course, I didn't plan ahead, and I made the new YouTube channel, and I was like, I'm gonna go live now, and it didn't work. So, yeah, I don't know, but so my goal is here is I'm just kind of so I'm trying to build out like a wall of houses here, and then put this motorcycle flying in on top of them. And that's the idea. So I was trying to do this all within an hour, but but it's been 45 minutes and this is how far I've gotten. So, whatever. Am I loud enough this time? I don't even know. I'm trying to talk a little bit louder. So, dude, this is hard because it's like one of those things where, I'm used to doing things and I don't really ever explain them. So I don't know. But I've got this like, this little brick wall thing here. Thought that was pretty cool. But and I figured I can change and I even have like a little be right back screen. Fancy with it. So anyway, yeah, I'm learning. I think my biggest hurdle, I suppose, would be to get over the fact that I don't really like talking. I don't like being in front of a camera or any of that. But it's gonna help me stay focused and like talk. Mills, what's up, dude? Um, Stuff like that. So I think that'll be the biggest hurdle, and like talk through what I'm doing because I don't usually explain things. I don't really have a rational way of doing any of this stuff. I pretty much just I guess I don't know, muscle memory or intuition, or not intuition. There's no way that's intuition. But yeah, so it'll be kind of interesting to explain all this. But the project, I guess, or whatever that I want to undertake or that I'm doing is every single chapter in every single book. I want to make one image. I'm going to make one image from each one. And I told myself I was going to do that. And then I looked up how many chapters there are in this whole series, and it's damn near 200 chapters. So if I do one a week, that's like 4 years of work. So I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not, but we'll see. But yeah, right now I'm just clone stamping everything. Clone stamping everything. Just for days. For days. This whole garage door is upsetting me. It's gonna end up looking like crap. I don't have a bottom for it, so I'm gonna try to draw one. I'm not that great at drawing, so it should be awesome. So I kind of have to figure out where it actually, because that's way too low. And then this, the drain spout, oh, that's a shadow, it's not bushes. Damn, and there's a shadow. Oh boy. I think it's here. Yeah. Perfect. Looks great. It's freaking fabulous there. Some daggone work of art. This is a phrase, right? Work of art? I don't know. So what's this look like? Oh yeah, that's way too low. And then of course that one's open, so I don't even have that to use. Damn it. I guess it's not way too low, but it's definitely too low. So I need it to be Let me zoom out again. Like right there-ish. Good enough for me. So what we're gonna do, take the trusty clone stamp, start moving that shadow over. Yuck. Oh man. Alright. So how about this? How about we do something crazy? I'm gonna take this, wait, on this layer, and then I'm gonna paint it. Nope, try that again. I'm gonna take this, paint it on this layer, and then I'm gonna move this over to here to make it look like the bottom, like it does over here. Is that wild or what? It's probably not that wild, but it's kind of funny how like how gross all of this looks until you figure it all out. But the behind the scenes, for me at least, like halfway through, you're like, what are you even doing? It looks terrible. But what am I doing? Hold on. Shadows are hard. I gotta figure out how to make this more entertaining, man. So, okay. It's so funny, like, oh wait, that's the mask. Okay. Alrighty then. And this is all like a jumbled mess. Where the hell am I cloning that from? Oh. Yeah. Well, I swear when you when you zoom out, it probably won't be as ugly. But I just don't like these ripples. I don't know how that even became a thing. Like, how did that even happen? Is there supposed to be a shadow here, you think? Probably, huh? Yeah, let me take the grass shadow. Grass shadow. Bam, bam. Right. I get real excited. Shit. Yeah. Look at that. You can't even tell. Like, I don't know why I spent that much time on that. Like, it's not that deep. No one's ever going to notice any of that stuff. You zoom out and just now the only thing I don't like is how repetitive it looks. Like, it doesn't look natural. It looks like they, like a bunch of graffiti and then they just tried to like spray it out. It's so silly. And there you just have to line up the lines. Take this brown down. You know what I mean? That's pretty much it. Fuck. That's not right. You know what I would really like this to become? Be like a Bob Ross show, you know? Like, let's turn these. I think this was the car reflection off the door, you know? It's like a happy accident here. You take this, you turn it into, make birds out of them, you know? Isn't that what he always did? Make birds out of everything? Shit, I did it again. Here? No, can't do that. Take that, we're gonna go all the way over here, try to line up the lines so it doesn't get all funky. And then it got all funky anyway. Shit. Just like everything else in life, or in my life at least, I spend most of my time correcting mistakes here. So, bam. Look at that, that's a little bit better, maybe. Try to line that up. And then one more for the road. Damn, I don't want to lose that solid line. Boom, 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 boom. Barbecuing veggie sausages? What? No, you're not. Are you trying to do vegetarian again, or you just getting inspired by me here? Is that what it is? Shit. Okay, you got me all distracted and confused, and I'm making this. Bam! Wow, that doesn't look any better. I just spent all that time. Now it just looks weird again in a different way. It's fine. We're not going to mess with it. We're not going to mess with it. I'm supposed to be done right now. That was my plan. I'm like, I'm going to take an hour. Why did I think I was going to take an hour? This stuff never takes an hour. So here, this is what had happened. What had happened was, I went to Google and I found where the Harry Potter thing was filmed, and I went to Street View, took a screenshot of the picture, and this is what it comes out to. And then I clone stamped away some stuff over here. What the hell is this? Oh. Ah. Anyway, this is where I'm at. Now I have to get this. And then, boy, this is going to end up being like one of those paintings where you watch the guy paint and you have no idea what's happening. And it's like upside down and backwards, and he's just throwing paint everywhere and spinning the canvas around like a madman. And then all of a sudden it turns into like this amazing thing. It's going to be kind of like that, except not very fast at all. And it's going to be like a slow train wreck that turns into one of those things. And I'm like, oh, what? A whole lot for like 4 hours. Then you're like, oh, I see it now, finally. That's what's going to happen. I like your tapestry. Oh, thanks, dude. Clean. It's getting there, man. And then this, I gotta do all that crazy shit with this, too. This is gonna be a hell of a picture. I'll probably won't do it all in one sitting. Damn. I'm gonna have to make these things simpler next time. Or, yeah, I don't know. Probably make it a speed edit instead and then upload it as a video. But yeah, I don't think that turned out too terribly, considering this is what it looked like beforehand. It's the exact same house. I just slid it over. Before, after, before, after. And like, and honestly, obviously it's a little different, but like if you didn't know I just removed a car and rebuilt a door, I don't think you would know. Like it doesn't look like I did anything. And that's the whole point. You spend 14 hours editing something to make it look like you didn't do a thing to it. Seems a little backwards, but it's what I like to do. I don't know why. It's just what I do. What is this? Where am I at with this? I don't want to do that. Oh shit. Alright, so one thing I didn't do for like 10 years when I was photoshopping stuff was masks. I never did masks, and I don't know why, because I would get through it, and I also never used adjustment layers and stuff. Like, I would get through and I'd come over here, and, shit, where's my, I would come over here, and I'd be like, adjustment, brightness, and do it this way. Because obviously, that's, I mean, it's a way to do it. It's not necessarily the best way to do it. I'm not even on the dang layer, I'm on the mask. But yeah, I would do something like this, and I'd come over here. I mean, this is going to be an extreme case, and it's not going to make any sense, but to give you an idea. And then later on down the road, and be like, man, that's a little too pink and orange. I wish I could change that, and you can't, right? You have to adjust it from where it's at instead of going back and adjusting the original. Or you can go and hit an adjustment layer, hue and saturation, and then slide the hue and saturation over. And not only does it adjust that layer, I mean, you can have it clipped to just that layer, or you can unclip it and have it adjust to the whole thing too. And say you screwed it up and be like, man, I wish it was just a little bit lighter, and go and lighten it all up. Or, shoot, it's too light, I need to go back. Or, shoot, that's a really ugly orange, I want it to be more red. Then you go more red. Boom. It's just, I don't know, adjustment layers are awesome. Or you can be like, you know what, screw all of that, and then you can just delete it. So, adjustment layers are the way to go. Especially if you make these smart layers, because then you can just have smart adjustment layers, and then you get real freaking smart. It's like having an ultra smart everything. Anyway, I think I'm gonna be done with this. Just because I don't think this is necessary for me to be on here all this whole time. But I'm definitely gonna finish this because I like where this is going. So it's gonna be a little bit of a not collage by any means, but I'm going to put a sidewalk here, and I'm gonna clean this up to make it look natural. I'm gonna put a sidewalk here, and then have this probably sign be a little bit lower here, and then up here I'm gonna put that together, and we'll probably put all this somewhere around golden ratio thirds looking thing over here. So that's the goal. Yep. But I'm gonna work on that. There's a hockey game in about an hour. I'm gonna work on it through that, and have this done by tonight, and that'll be awesome. So that's the goal. I appreciate you guys hopping on, and sorry I didn't get it done in an hour. I have to figure out like a better way to set it up, or better images, or something like a better starting point to where we hit the ground running next week. But the goal is every Monday would be ideal, just because it's like my work week, quote unquote, and my job is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday mornings. And so Monday's like smack dab in the middle of it, and I like to have like a big chunk of days, and then the rest of my days I like to be able to either go on a little traveling adventure or whatever. But I like to have the 3 days of solid work, 4 days of solid work in a row, and then go on an adventure or do something else, or lay in bed and watch movies for 3 days straight, whatever I feel like doing. Um, so anyway, but yeah, like I said, the main point of this was to just kind of show not necessarily anything about Harry Potter. That was just my I like fantasy stories. I like stories with meanings and stuff that I relate to and whatever. And that's just, I mean, if you know me, that's the one. Um, but I wanted to show like all these little things that can correlate to any image. It doesn't have to be anything about Harry Potter. That's not the point of any of this. It's really to show you kind of how I edit images and where my thoughts are and like what I'm thinking or whatever. But I do, like I said in the beginning, but I'm gonna print these out on little instant Instax prints. They're these little guys, little square print. They look like Polaroids, and I'm selling these on my website. But I'm also going to sell each, and if you dig all this stuff. So that's kind of the point there. Then I have a Patreon set up, which is to help kind of fund this a little bit and to help me kind of keep this project alive as long as I can. I'll put links and stuff around if anybody's interested in supporting all that, plus to the website and social medias and all that crap. I'll put the links and stuff below for anybody watching later, or if you're into it, Mills or anything like that. But yeah, it'll be a process. Like this isn't going to be perfect right away by any means. And plus, I'm still trying to learn how to talk in front of a camera and all that. Like I'm a huge introvert, super shy. So this is, I don't like attention. So this is going to be a big process for me. But anyway, yeah, like I'm going to stop the stream, but Mondays at 6 until further notice. But yeah, Mondays at 6. We'll be doing chapter 2 next Monday. And yeah, anyway, thanks guys. I appreciate you guys hopping on. And I appreciate anybody else watching this later. And I'm not exactly sure how to end this. Oh, here we go. Alright guys. Peace.